So we have, next up is Devon Page. He is the Executive Director at Ecojustice. He contributed some of the earliest lawsuits launched against Canada's Species at Risk Act and a precedent-setting victory at the Supreme Court of Canada that forced the recognition of the economic value of natural resources in cases of environmental harm. Devon is also building Ecojustice's presence across the country to prepare for emerging environmental challenges, such as Alberta's tar sands. Please welcome Devon Page.
Thanks. Ecojustice has been called the best, least well-known environmental organization in Canada. With a collection of lawyers and scientists in 4 offices across the country, our mission is to use the law to protect and restore the environment, and that means we sue the government a lot. I'm going to talk a bit about what we do, but I'm going to start off with why we do it, and it's, it's fairly obvious. Canada has an amazing natural legacy. We're the envy of the world. And we're doing about as much as we can to screw it up for our future generations as possible. So Ecojustice is dedicated to ensuring that we leave the planet in better shape than we found it. And we're doing that through our precedent-setting litigation. Now, our cases are the most significant in the country, and what we primarily do is litigation. Our informal motto is we sue the bastards. So we sue polluters, and we sue the government for failing to enforce the law, and that's our bread and butter. 9 times out of 10, we're in court because the federal government or the provincial government or municipal government won't enforce their own laws. The cases are significant. We're suing currently in Sarnia, otherwise known as Chemical Valley. You guys have heard of Sarnia, but did you know that it's one of the 10 most polluted sites in North America, and the pollution is so bad that it's changed the birth rate of boys and girls? So we're representing the community members in precedent-setting litigation using the charter to protect their health for the first time. And of course, tar sands. The tar sands scale of destruction is so huge it can be seen from space, polluting 4 barrels of water for every 1 barrel of bitumen produced that goes through further refining. It's an environmental catastrophe. And I don't have time to talk about all the cases that we're doing there, but it was the reason that we opened an Alberta office. And our most high-profile cases, all against the federal government. We've won a string of lawsuits suing the federal government for failure to enforce the Species at Risk Act. And I'm going to talk a bit more about that one in particular, because I want to talk about some of our clients, the groups that don't get a chance usually to speak in court, like the boreal caribou. Once so iconic that it was picked to grace our quarter, this thing is tanking. It's down, populations are down about 30% from where they were 20 years ago. Most herds in Canada are no longer sustainable. So we're suing various levels of government to get them to protect species in their habitat, and we've won every case to date. But the government is fighting us like you've never seen. Of course, orcas, same thing. They live in a toxic soup. They don't have enough food to eat. We won a victory in the Federal Court of Appeal last year that was called the most significant in Canada's history, where we forced the government to protect their habitat. But they don't actually let us represent species in court. We represent usually the environmental community. And what we say is, with the backbone of the environmental community, an investment of us is multiplied because we provide them with we defend them in court. And it's people, it's environmental groups, it's union, it's green business, you name it. As long as it'll create a precedent, protect the environment, we'll help them. Now you might think because we sue government so much, we don't get government funding. You'd be right, we don't get a dime. So that's why you guys are really important, I have to say. They wouldn't let me be here if I didn't say, we need support, we can't meet the demand for our services. So thank you very much for taking the time to hear what I have to say. Thanks.